Oh, I can record and stream at the same time. So it turns out that I had my mic set to 25% volume in Windows settings. I cannot hear my microphone through OBS right now. Like, I'm not hearing any pass through for whatever reason. You would think that they would have that. Perhaps I have it muted somewhere. Obviously, I can go to this. Oh my god, it's much louder than I thought it was. But now I actually think, am I experiencing am I experiencing latency? No, I am not, because this is direct monitoring. It is quite crispy. This is that microphone through the Novation preamp with compression applied, and I know that I'm peaking around minus 10 dB inside of OBS, which you can't see. Average peaks like between 10 and 20, negative 10 and 20. Yeah, I notice I kind of look sad, man, don't I? Sometimes, like in my face sometimes. I don't know, smiling seems to take so much work. Like, I feel like I have a heavy face. I actually just forgot that I'm streaming right now, so I'm literally saying this to the whole open internet, but that's part of the learning process. I might as well watch that now. I don't think anyone can see this. Yeah. I literally don't have any idea what I'm doing. That's much better. That's funny, man. Holy cow. I was just talking about how I felt like my face was heavy. And yes, I am actually streaming that. But, yeah, I should probably... You'd think I should probably do something right. But the point was... Not that I was going to, actually do anything. Believe it or not. I just wanted to practice, like, not narrating myself. Because I don't have to do that. We can narrate my thoughts. Who should I even imagine that I'm talking to? You know, like I will say one thing which is pretty cool is that I like that my chat is working right now. I remember streaming in the past. Uh, I imagine on YouTube, I thought it was, and the chat wouldn't work from desktop, or maybe I closed it because I was like, I don't care. Either no one's gonna chat with me, or um, who knows? Yeah, I might have just closed it. But look, I can start a question and answer. How is this different from anything? Like, I can still talk. What the heck? It is not working well on this little chat window. How is this a Q&A? What? The creepy thing is there's a lot of background noise. It's just my fridge and a fan. I like my banner, man. It's like probably the most narcissistic thing a person can say. But I thought it turned out pretty good. The logo too, if you see, like, look close. It has, I don't know, like the checkerboard pattern that video stuff has. I guess at this point it's not that special. I just always thought that was a cool pattern. And I think I was making a graphic, and I think I was making a graphic, and I had the transparency set, or accidentally set, and that influenced the design because I could see it, and I thought it was already in the drawing, and it wasn't. So I had to manually recreate it, which sounds easy enough, right? Not easy. It wasn't easy. I don't know why it was so difficult, but I remember it was just like extremely hard. I feel like I don't know, I guess I could have taken a screenshot, but for some reason I decided that I would draw it. And I don't know, man, making all those squares was pretty tough. My channel's so weird, man. What the fuck, dude? Nobody has a channel like this. Like, I'm playing a cover song. I look like so happy doing it. Jamming the hell out of it. What is it, Last Christmas little cover? Well, when it speeds up, it looks like I'm really enjoying myself. And then this TrueFire guitar thing. I don't even know why I did that, dude. Like, did I really need to do that? I don't know. It's just, I was coming off of a long break from guitar. And so I was like, get back into it, like have an excuse to post stuff. But now it seems almost like a different life, you know what I mean? Because I don't know if anybody knows this, but I used to play I started playing guitar when I was 10, believe it or not. I know Hendrix started at 15 and he changed the world in 6 years. Okay, that's fantastic for Jimmy. I don't know how people could practice for 12 hours. It's crazy. I don't know, I will say, there was a time not long ago, well actually it was long ago now, like back in, I don't know, 2014 or before 2015, I would say, where I was experiencing depression like crazy. And, I really did feel like I had to make a decision. Um, was I gonna, I was, and I think maybe what had something to do with it was I was already like not uh, 26 anymore. So I was like, why? Or the 27, I was past that. I don't know how old I was, like 32 or something. So I was like, well, I can't be in the 27 club. So if I go really hard and, go too far with the effort and the stress, um, I'm gonna end up. I'm gonna start like to be the first guy in like the 32 club or 33 club, and I'm like, that's not glamorous enough to pursue. So I'm feeling like self-conscious because it's early in the morning, like 2:30, and I'm probably one of the few people who are awake right now. So I hope that my talking is not disturbing anybody in the nearby apartment, because that is not what I want to do. But at the same time, if I don't stream now, I'm not going to stream because I'm going to be tired. My face is going to be like, ugh, and I don't need that. It's bad enough as it is, right? Um, and so yeah, just trying to get the streaming in, and it helps me more than anything. Like I already like when I'm here by myself and I'm playing. A lot of times I talk to myself. It's a normal thing for people to do. It always feels sometimes crazy when you think about it, like, why are you doing that? But it helps me think and understand. I don't know, maybe create a mental scaffolding to cling to, so I feel like there's some kind of structure in life, which without such a thing would definitely feel more constantly fluid, which is good. I mean, it's something to get used to, right? People do tend to want or even prioritize for stability, right? And I watched something where it said that people pursue what they get like what they're emotional about. Maybe when they're attached to certain emotions, more than likely is what it is. Like they say, what you resist persists. It seems true. I don't know, everything. But a lot of times it does seem true. Like, especially if you're pissed, the more you resist something, the more likely you're going to stay pissed. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Metaphysically, I don't know. And I don't like to involve myself. Sometimes I would like to, but they say it's just one more, ultimately fruitless rabbit hole to go down in a life sense. Like, you can put your energy toward anything. You want to put it into tarot cards and like fortune telling and shit like that. It's you have to make a decision, and that's not it, I don't know. Well, you want to be a magician? Like, what then? What? You're still gonna have to deal with depression and all these, all the things the Buddhists talk about. So I don't see a point in becoming an occultist. But you, I don't know, man. I it's important to measure things, to ground things. I'm not like about to profess some metaphysical thinking, but about resisting and persisting, But it does have concrete links to stuff, because like let's say you are angry with somebody, you talk to them on the phone. If you say something offensive, now you've sort of created a debt. Now they may forgive that debt, or they may not. So people say live debt free, but do they live debt free emotionally? Shoot. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So, yeah, streaming. I just thought I would stream for 30 minutes or so, 35. Seems like a good amount of time, 36 minutes. Um, OBS is good, man. I don't know if it's improved lately or what. Um, okay, question and answer. Let's end this one. Confirm. Okay, let's do another one. How do you relate your life's changes to your age? This is a good question. All right, I cannot see the chat now. Okay. How do you relate your life's changes to your age? Well, this is something that I was experiencing earlier. I notice changes in my body, that my skin does not seem as elastic, I think is what people say. But at the same time, I also lost a lot of weight recently, and that can have an effect. It's not like I have loose skin. That's always something that I was afraid to get, given that I've been up and down in weight over the course of my life. So that's sort of a fluctuating cycle that I've experienced. I think a lot of it can be improved with exercise and diet and sleep and drinking water and things of that nature. I think it was worse earlier. Like when I first lost the weight, it seemed like my body was sagging more. Now it doesn't necessarily seem worse. It does seem maybe like it's changed location. I don't know, it's a strange topic to talk about, but I mean, that is one thing, and I'm not, I'm 43 now, so it's an interesting thing, because I think when I know for sure, at least in myself, you identify sort of with your youth, because that's what you experience first, and that's when you form your identity. But the spiritual people talk about dying to yourself, allow you to be, in the Tao Te Ching it says, to be reborn, die. A lot of religions talk about that. And I've sat in meditation many times, almost every day at some point. And sometimes the sense of dying comes, but yet I'm not dead. I mentioned it to a friend of mine, and she said that she had never felt that. But maybe after I'd mentioned it a few times, I may have planted the seed, or who knows what. And then she later said that she had experienced that sense of dying, like almost a fear, terror, that you're gonna just die of some unknown cause. While you're sitting in meditation. I don't know if any of you have experienced that. So how do you relate to life's changes? How do you relate your life's changes to your age? Physical changes for sure. I can almost count my years by my cycles of high BMI, whatever you want to say about that term. It's a rule of thumb. Clearly, I'm no, bodybuilding expert. So it's not like I would, but whatever with that, I don't really care about the metrics as much. but yeah, being fat, being in more better shape, or now I would say maybe it's a perception, I don't know what it is, that it just seems that I'm not able to lose the weight that I have now as easily. Because I was up to 298, and now I'm at 244, 245-ish. I would like to get to like 225 at least. That was always kind of like a comfortable spot for me. At least I liked more how I looked at that time, but it was never something that I could maintain. Because I just didn't have I would say probably mental health to support and sustain the stability required to build a healthy, I guess a healthy lifestyle. It comes from within. People say you need a healthy body to have a healthy mind. I don't know, man. There's a link, but it's not like deterministic. Like, if you're fit, your mind is healthy. Because I say, look at the prisons. There's a lot of presumably reasonably in shape people physically there, but was it their body that got them into that situation, or their mind? So it's important to get your mind right, and it's a difficult process. I would say, in my experience, it's more difficult than physical fitness. Physical fitness certainly brings discomfort in terms of hunger, exercise, exertion, injuries, just random malaise that happens sometimes, or, fluctuations in mood, positive or negative. Maybe expectations of yourself. Yeah, I would say that's, let's say my reproductive function has changed, obviously, over my life. There was a peak time for me in terms of projecting that energy out into the world. That was something that nobody saw. It was before the internet, basically, before YouTube, for sure. And, that's good. I mean, that's something that people sometimes do. Obviously, not everybody does that. I'm glad that I took the opportunity. It was actually by the influence of Osho. I know some people have their negative opinions about him. He's certainly been portrayed in the media, even in his life, as this insane person. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. He actually told a story, or other spiritual teachers have told stories, that people have become enlightened by prostrating themselves before trees. That it's not who or what you surrender yourself to, but the surrender itself. Like spiritual teachers, traditions advocate for vegetarianism, but also begging, right? The monks, they beg some. I forgot what they call those kinds of monks. They beg for food. And if you give them meat, or if they receive meat, they're not going to not eat that. So, in Tibet, I guess it's known that their diet consisted of meat of some sort, birds, or I don't know what they ate, the monks, or who knows if it's changed. I don't know if it's not like they have DoorDash, like, if the plants aren't going to grow, they're not going to grow, in mountains, or who knows what they got going on. But yeah, I felt like vegetarianism is more about you, not the animal. Osho said that. He's like, the animal's going to die. We know for one thing is for certain, you're going to have more impact in human life than a chicken. The chicken will come and go. You would never even know it. But if you have an impact on someone, that can last for, like, who knows, man? How many, potentially thousands of years. Maybe it's thousands of milliseconds. But it can echo. It can go viral through time. So it's not even like a viral thing we consider on the internet, but almost becomes, I guess, like you would say, a meme. Mm, on some level, just a ripple, but one that resonates and almost self oscillates. Yeah. So, and I would say, yeah, definitely, in terms of life's changes, a lot seems to become more mental. Like I don't always like to walk around the neighborhood. Um, Now, when I was younger, I didn't care. I think it's, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people look at me and be like, why isn't he at work? Or something. Like, bitch, I'm working. Like, I just have to go for a walk right now. Um, so I don't know. Maybe I need to get over that. But, yeah, so I think a lot of things become mental, like music. I don't need to have an instrument to know what a major third sounds like. Mi, re, do. Anytime I can bust that shit out. I know exactly the intervals. If there was an instrument, I wouldn't know what key because I don't have perfect pitch, but I have my relative pitch has improved a lot. I work on it all the time. It's almost like all I do these days. Relative pitch type training, breaking down melodies into their tonal properties. Yeah, but that's just stuff you learn. Like, you know, just like when I was 8 or 10 or 9, I was into, model hovercrafts and stuff. And like track vehicles. I had the fast tracks and my friend had the hovercraft. We used to think in terms of like which one was superior. Uh, you can make a case for either, but mine was better, obviously, because it was more realistic. But I mean, hovercraft, it's pretty badass, actually, if they could have made it, as amphibious as they claimed. So yeah, that stuff just kind of comes up, and I mean, I'm still into like hovercrafts, and model cars, but I don't currently have one, and I don't know if I want one because time and stuff. So yeah, 28 minutes in, 29. I thought we'd do 36. It's a good length of time. But that's what I got, and I don't have water. I'll be right back. Should I mute my feed because I mean I'm clothed, but I'm wearing boxers, so maybe I'll just mute my screen, my video right now. Just YouTube likes to be family friendly. Content is not made for children, but. Okay, I know my mic was live the whole time. I got water. I do feel a sense of guilt because we drink these Arrowhead waters. And yes, it's plastic, and yes, they're owned by Nestle, and morally, I can't justify it. But do you mean to tell me that canned water is better? I mean, drink tap water? I don't think so. I know that the municipality is producing a fine service. I guess it is just a utility in their water. I'm sure it is potable, but that doesn't mean that I want to drink it. I'll shower in it. We'll cook with it, I guess. I think we cook with it. Sometimes, I don't make coffee with it. Maybe I could, but I don't know, man. I like the Arrowhead water. It's delicious. And it has bubbles. And I don't trust. There was, you know what? In fact, you know what even sucks? There was one of those water, like jug filling stations not far from here. And oh, did my camera freeze? I think it did. Let me see if I can restart it. Yeah. It's an old GoPro, man. In fact, it always was screwed up. let me not twist the truth here. Hang on a second. Oh my God, this camera. Yeah, I think I have to remove the battery. I don't really want to comment on GoPro or whatever. But I don't know, man. What can I say? I would strongly look. I would just strongly encourage you to check, reviews, preferably credible ones. This is user error right here. Okay. Now let me see if it comes back. Preview? Yeah. Badass. Is it frozen again? That's so weird. Let me see. Still? OBS thinks it's frozen. Preview? No. It froze again. Let me quit this. Let me see what happens. I'm going to try to quit the webcam app. I don't know if it'll let me. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We're approaching 36 minutes anyway, so this isn't like a big deal breaker. Man, that's pretty annoying. Did it? I don't even know if it came back. I'm going to have to review that later. What happens if I just unplug it? It's weird that my face is still there even though the camera's unplugged. Some might say creepy. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? It doesn't even show up in Task Manager. Isn't that funny? That's so crazy. Look at it. It's just like, anyway, it's probably... Oh no, it's still here. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to battle it. Anyway, that's what I look like. That's what I looked like a few minutes ago. Take a good look. Yeah, so today was obviously just a lot of philosophy. Thank you for my 2 viewers. That is meaningful to me. These streams are really, they have many purposes. But mainly I just want to kind of put myself out there without actually putting in any effort. No, I mean, I like to work on stuff from home. And so, we have some things that we're trying to make, some products that, you might want to buy. You'll see that soon. It's nice to just kind of share what I'm doing because, some of it just takes time to develop, the interval training that I'm doing with, actual musical intervals, counterpoint, songwriting and stuff. I don't know. I should have some tracks coming out before too long. But, yeah, I don't want to make that sort of longer term project the only time I ever connect with people regarding my creativity. It doesn't feel right. I always felt like stages are stupid. You know, they're just there so someone can put a door in front of them and charge money. And so I really think that this whole YouTube thing, it took me a while to sort of, for the pill to sort of dissolve and effervesce into my water of being, but it fits me so well. I was, you know, my mom got me a camcorder when I was a kid and stuff, and so it's just right up my alley, basically. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll probably be here tomorrow. Peace.